Hey, good morning and welcome to online Bible class and weekly announcements. Today we are making a transition into uh, something a little bit new for our online Bible class. We, since March, I think, have been walking through the parables of Jesus, and they have been just phenomenal. It I think has been one of my favorite ever series to teach through. And it's been a little bit weird because none of it's been in person. Um, it's all been online. Today, I'm actually recording this via Zoom just to give you an idea of what's coming up in the future. But we're finished with the parables, but that doesn't mean that I don't want to share something with you today, just really quickly before we talk about the future. So, what I want to share with you is a verse from this past Wednesday night. We've been in this No Excuses series. And this week we just talked about something really brutally honest, that there really aren't any excuse to us falling prey to Satan and his constant attacks on us and his constant scheming to get to us. And the reason there's no excuse is because we, one, are never alone. God is always with us, and we have fully available to us all the resources of God. We have all his power available to us. But often we choose the easy way out. We choose just to get lazy on things. We choose to drop the ball, and therefore we leave ourselves exposed to whatever Satan is trying to do to us, and at whatever point he's trying to get through. Anyway, I don't want to go through the whole lesson again from Wednesday night, but I do want to just share with you a couple of verses from Ephesians chapter 6, just a reminder. Beginning in verse 10, it says here, finally be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. And then on in verse 13, it says, therefore, put on the full armor of God. And we went through this repeatedly Wednesday night. How much of the armor do we put on? We put on the full armor. And whatever piece we leave off, wherever we leave out that part of relationship with God, whether it's the helmet or the shield or the breastplate, that's the point where Satan is going to make his attack. That's where we're vulnerable. Zach Bowers helped us illustrate really well this last Wednesday night what it looked like to be fully covered and then not quite so much, to have those spots where we're vulnerable. So I just want to leave that with you and ask you the question, am I fully covered? Am I putting forth the effort? See, that's where the challenge comes in. It takes work. It takes effort to be in Jesus. It takes effort to put ourselves in the fully in the presence of God and in his mighty power. And so I encourage you to read through that passage in Ephesians chapter 6, starting in verse 10, and just read through to the end of the chapter, and you can get an idea of what things look like. Hey, so I want to talk about the future. We have a student cohort meeting today, actually, starting at 11:30, and so you may be seeing this before that meeting. You may be seeing it after that meeting. Maybe you'll be watching it during the meeting, and anyway, you won't be at that meeting, and that's okay. But we're going to be talking a little bit about this in student cohort. And so what the future looks like is we are going to, for a period of time, maybe through the end of the year, maybe into the first part of next year, I would imagine that we will still not be in person for Bible class, and therefore we're still going to do online Bible class, but bring you guys in a little more and get you a little more involved in this process. It's going to be, honestly, it's going to be more work on my part. It's going to be a little more work on your part. And so here's what it's going to look like. We're going to go through a book in the New Testament. maybe the book of Ephesians, maybe the book of James. I haven't fully decided. There's still a week or so to decide. And so what I want to do is have you guys help with the class. It's still just going to be like a 10 to 12 minute Bible class. And you don't have to be involved the whole time. Maybe some of you will be involved for the whole 10 minutes. Some of you may come in and just make a little appearance for 2 minutes, give your opinion and duck out. And that's fine. But what we'll do is you and I, or maybe a couple of students on any given week, we'll meet up on Zoom like this, and I'll give you a verse ahead of time for you to look over, and I'll give you a question to think about, and then we'll get together on Zoom. We'll record it just like I'm doing right now, and we'll just talk about your thoughts on that verse and maybe what you would like to share with the group in how you perceive what God's trying to tell us through that passage of Scripture. So this is something new for us. It may or may not work. We're going to test it out. And if you would like to be a part of that, just let me know. Just give me a text and say, hey, I wouldn't mind helping with one of those. And so I'm sure the braver ones will start off the first few weeks, and the rest of you can see, oh, that's not so bad. He didn't embarrass anybody too bad. Let me tell you, the only one that's going to be embarrassed in this whole thing will be me. I'm the only one who's ever often embarrassed. So just know. So that's what's going to be coming up for online Bible class. And I'm looking forward to having you guys involved in that, a different student, 1 or 2 students each week. And then we'll post the Zoom video along with maybe any additional content to fill the time. So also, we have coming up starting November 1st, that's a Sunday night, we're going to begin a Sunday night get together called Deep Dive. And this actually was the idea of Tyla Lynn. She came to me a couple of weeks ago and she said, hey, could we get together and just talk a little more deeply about things, which is hard to do in online Bible class in 10 minutes. It's hard to do with a group of 30 of us together on Wednesday nights. So whoever would like to be involved in this, everybody's invited. But on Sunday nights, we're going to start, I think, like from 6 o'clock to 7:30. And we may start meeting at the church building. I just want to make sure we've got room to spread out safely. We may have to mask up. If it's a small enough group, if there's only 4 or 5 people interested in doing this, then we may be able to meet it at my house. But what we're going to do in the beginning, and again, this was Tyler's suggestion to start off with, is we're going to be going through the C.S. Lewis book, Mere Christianity. It's not a super thick book. It's not a super hard read like most of his stuff. It's pretty attainable and approachable just by like common people, people who haven't, gone through seminary or have theology degrees or something like that. Although he talks about big stuff, he talks about important stuff and hard stuff. But anyway, we're gonna go through that book, maybe a chapter a week. It'll require a little bit of reading, but not a lot. And so that's going to be coming up starting November 1, and we'll meet every Sunday night that we can. And we'll see how it goes. We'll see how long it goes. We're entering a holiday season, so I'm sure there's going to be several Sundays in November that we will not be meeting. So anyway, just look for that. It's just an opportunity for us to get together and just share in some more deep discussion about different things, about the mysteries of God, about life, the mysteries of life, about all sorts of things that are on our minds and hearts. And anyway, so I'm really looking forward to that. Hey, this Wednesday night is our very first youth-led worship for this school year. It's taken us a little while to get started with this just because things have looked a little different this year. We will be, I'm pretty sure we'll be moving indoors this Wednesday night for youth group. We'll be in the gym at the East Side building. So we'll be asking everyone to mask up. Sorry, the mask would be here. So just come prepared for that. We will we'll be worshiping together. One of our students will be bringing the message, the devotional this month to encourage us. So super looking forward to that. And then also in just a couple of weeks, we have our annual urban retreat. I think it's the 14th and 15th. It's a Saturday and Sunday in November. And honestly, it may only be Saturday. I'm not exactly sure what this retreat's going to look like because we're just doing things different this year. In the past, we've gone to movies, we've gone bowling together, we've done stuff that I'm not sure that we may be able to easily do this year. So I just leave that with you. It's going to be a good retreat, regardless of how it looks. Even if it's just one day, we'll see how it goes. And we're going to discuss that a little bit in student cohort meeting this Sunday, I guess today, this morning, or maybe a few hours ago, or maybe yesterday morning, depending on whenever you watch this. So thank you for joining us for online Bible class and mostly weekly announcements this week. I pray that you have a great week. I pray that all of us have the desire, have the energy and effort to put into putting on the full armor of God so that we can be able to take our stand, so that we can stand up against the attacks of Satan that come constantly from every direction, from everywhere. They come from within our own heart, from friends, from the media, from just everywhere. So just ask yourself that question: am I putting on the full armor? Am I putting forth that effort? So have a great week. I hope to see everyone this Wednesday night, 6:30 to 8 p.m. at Eastside. Take care.